Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be talking about the markets, kind of going over a trade I took. I did take a loss this morning, and I'll kind of talk about how I am dealing with losses. And even though we did take a loss this morning, we're also going to document a winning trade setup. So this way we're still getting that pseudo experience that ICT talks about when he says, always be positive with your annotations. And I think just documenting, yes, my loss. I always document my losses, but also documenting a trade that would have been a profitable trade kind of helps me learn, helps me grow, and essentially just helps me become a better trader. So I'm going to go over the two trades and just kind of showing you what I was expecting the market to do this morning, and yes, going over the trades. So let's just get right into the charts. Start on the daily time frame. All right, so this week we went past this daily volume imbalance, this new week opening gap, took out these New York PM session highs, which is crazy. We had a very bullish run yesterday afternoon and this morning during London session. We had news at 8:30 a.m., red folder news, so I'm sure that had something to do with it. Plus it's NFP week, so lots of movement this week. We traded into this weekly inversion volume imbalance, and I wanted to see the market either respect that level or break through it and continue higher. We do see we have a breakthrough. I wanted to see a 1 hour fair value gap traded to and potentially this new week opening gap. Again, we've already had a very bullish day, so I don't know how much more movement we'll get today. But just the fact that we've been very bullish this week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, now Thursday, we're just trading higher and higher and higher, and there's no looking back, it seems. So very bullish week. Now let's get down to the 1 hour. All right, so as you can see, we have these 1 hour fair value gaps respecting price right here, right here. We had another one this morning right here, and then of course right here. So we already have these PD arrays that the market comes down to, respects, and trades higher. So we can already tell that it's a very bullish week. We did have a large opening range gap, and this morning when I took a trade, it was actually for a short. And I'll kind of explain my thought process on why I took that short, but also looking back, realizing, hey, Alicia, it's a very bullish market, and we're not in the market of picking tops and bottoms. So the fact that I picked a top because I thought it would have been going lower, even though we can see that the market flow has been very bullish, trading down into these PD arrays, very respected. The fact that we didn't even really trade down into this 1 hour fair value gap, that's a sign of a very bullish market. Same with this one, we traded down into it, but only to the consequent encroachment. So, and then having this 1 hour fair value gap kind of as a breakaway gap, it is a very bullish market. So just myself from today, I understand, listen, we're not in the market of picking tops and bottoms. It was going higher. I saw that it was going higher, but I just wanted to get in a sell. But again, we're learning, and yes, we're learning. So let's drop down to the 15-minute time frame. Obviously, London session was bullish. We can even, when we're looking at the markets, we want to see what's happened in the past. So the good thing about trading the New York session is we can see what happened during the London session and kind of go based on that. So as you can see, we took out these lows at 2:30 a.m., which is the London session, while trading into the 15-minute fair value gap, and we traded into about the consequent encroachment of the 15-minute fair value gaps. So even that right there is a sign that we want to go higher. We traded higher. We had news at 8:30, so we have this run. And then we pushed above the New York PM session highs and traded into the weekly inversion volume imbalance. So this is where I was like, okay, we could potentially see sells now. We did make a high. We broke this New York PM session high, daily high. We're trading into this higher time frame objective of the weekly volume imbalance. We could potentially see lower pricings. Plus, on the NAS, we failed to make a higher high. So seeing that, I was like, okay, potentially ES could follow NAS and go lower. However, if we dig deeper into the market, we can see we have this 15-minute fair value gap form at 9:30. We traded down into it at 10 a.m., but we also traded down into this 15-minute plus order block. So trading into this higher time frame, we moved above the relative equal highs, traded down into the order block, into the 15-minute fair value gap, into the consequent encroachment again. So we're already looking very, very bullish. We have this, and we could even have taken a trade on the 15-minute time frame, as you can see. If we put our stop loss below that candle, it's about 4 points, so we put it to 5 points, and then trade into the 1 hour fair value gap objective. So right there, that's a solid 1 to 3 risk to reward. However, we didn't take this trade, but these are things that I like to point out after the market and be like, hey, like I saw this is what happened. So seeing the market, documenting it that way definitely gives me experience and teaches me also, okay, we're in a bullish run. We've seen these higher time frame objectives reached. We had a break of market structure right here. Break of market structure came down into this displacement, the 15-minute fair value gap, again with this order block. Boom, trade higher. So this would have been a nice trade. However, we did not get into this trade. Let's just jump down to the 5-minute. All right, so now we're down on the 5-minute chart. Again, we can see the market. We had this displacement run at 9:30 a.m., moving higher, came back down into this 5-minute fair value gap, consolidated, came back down, breaking this low right here. But we did trade into that 15-minute order block, which, to be fair, I didn't see at the time. And I was just more focused on like, hey, the NAS is moving lower, ES is gonna follow for sure, but not seeing this 15-minute order block and the 15-minute fair value gap, which is on my charts, I think kind of steered me in the wrong direction, because look, we did take out this low, but we could consider this low as sell side liquidity, came back down, traded into the 15-minute fair value gap while also trading into that order block before eventually moving higher. So break of market structure here, comes up, down, short-term sell-side liquidity taken, boom, boom. This is where I took my trade this morning, which did actually hit my stop loss. So I had my stop above this candle. I was using the 5-minute fair value gap to get in. I wanted to see this fair value gap traded to, which is 12.5 points. We came up into it, sold short, and we just continued to move higher. Again, I didn't see the 15-minute order block or the 15-minute fair value gap in time, and I was trading off of the fact that, hey, NAS is going lower, so let's follow suit and follow NAS. However, sometimes the market does not do that, and we have to have our analysis on the ES as well. We can't just rely solely on NAS leading the direction. So yes, it did hit our stop loss. Yes, we did document our trades. Yes, we expressed our emotions, and yes, but I took it one step further and I was like, hey, let's document this winning trade setup too to learn from. So 1 minute charts. So we're on the 1 minute chart. I was also watching the range, seeing if we were gonna go lower, and the fact that we had this fair value gap here, I was like, okay, let's see how the market reacts to it. We traded, kind of trading inside, broke out of it, and then this is where the 5-minute fair value gap formed, and then I got in. Of course, it did not move lower. We, in fact, traded higher off of this 1 minute fair value gap and then higher. So what I did was I documented this trade as well. And even though we didn't actually enter into this trade, it's still good practice to have these sorts of setups that we can go back and learn from. So of course we traded down to the 15-minute fair value gap and 15-minute order block, displaced higher. We had a break of market structure here. We also had a small break of market structure right here before moving down into this 1-minute fair value gap, enter, and then we moved higher into the 1 hour fair value gap objective. So seeing this, documenting it as if I took the trade helps with that pseudo experience and helps with us becoming better traders. So even though I did take a loss this morning and I still documented my loss, I did document this win as well. Again, having these trades in our documents, in our mind that we took this trade is great for experience, great for knowledge, understanding the markets, and of course, just giving ourselves that sort of win. So, I'm just gonna do this really quick. As you know, I have this PD array, or not this one, sorry. I have this rules checklist. So, draw on liquidity. We had the higher time frame draw on liquidity, the 1 hour. So check, we traded into a higher time frame objective of this 15-minute. We traded down into the 15-minute order block, 15-minute fair value gap, check. We had our displacement run, check. We had a break of market structure here, but we also had a break of market structure here, check. We had our silver bullet time frame, so 10 a.m. to 11, check, we got in there. We have our entry fair value gap, which is this 1-minute fair value gap, check. We have a 10-point take profit, yes, we can reach up to 10 points to that 1 hour fair value gap, check. And our stop loss is well protected underneath this low right here at 5 points, check. So this is honestly A+ setup. We have our short-term sell side liquidity taken, traded into the higher time frame objective, and then of course our fair value gap entry to our draw on liquidity. So again, even though I did not take this trade, these are good to document and just to learn from, practice, and all of that. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I know I learned something. It's definitely not the best to pick tops and bottoms in the market. So we know this, we were going higher. We are trading higher. So go with the trend, go with the markets. Don't pick tops and bottoms. Definitely learning. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.